Hi, this is Dr. Letitia Wright, and this is Right Place. I've got a great interview for you. We're going to be speaking with DonNay. He's a real estate investor who can teach you how to invest in today's market. He knows what's going on today. He's not bringing you the strategies from 1972. He's bringing you the strategies that happen today. Let me tell you a little bit about him. DonNay is the president and chief executive officer of the Costa Mesa, California-based Affordable Housing Alliance. It's a company that he founded in 2012, specifically to challenge consumers to find a better way to buy houses. And I'm excited for him to share with you his specific techniques. With more than 30 years of experience in acquisition, renovation, property management, disposition, and financial restructuring of real estate, Mr. Nay has acquired and sold over 3,300 homes. Prior to founding the Affordable Housing Alliance, he was the chief executive officer of the International Art Publishers, where he published the works of artists Alexander Nikita, the child prodigy known as the Petite Picasso, and he's also Yuri Gorbachev's nephew. Prior to the International Art Publishers, he served as president of the Rarities Mint Inc. This is where he developed and operated the major product licensing endeavors with Walt Disney, Lucasfilms, Looney Tunes, and Warner Brothers, Charlie Brown, the Peanuts Gang, and the state of California. And let me tell you, working with the state of California is probably his toughest client. But he's worked with many, many others. Throughout his career, Nay's primary objective have been real estate investing. His passions and his hobbies are his family, his grandchildren, his real estate investing, his reading, and his avid outdoorsmanship. He is also involved in numerous charities. He works with Andre Agassi's Charitable Foundation for Children. He works with David Foster's Foundation, the Red Cross, UNICEF, Make-A-Wish, Special Olympics, which is near and dear to my heart. My mother was a Special Olympics coach for 30 years. And Chalk, which is here in Southern California, and Girls Inc. So welcome to Right Place. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Showing up electronically.
I appreciate it.
So a lot of my viewers really are concerned about real estate in terms of, is this a good time to buy?
It is a good time to buy. There's no question. I say that any time is a good time to buy. And whether the market's going up or the market's going down, it's always a good time to buy. Mainly because you always are going to need a place to live. Everyone does.
Yes.
So it's always a good time. Now the structures and the techniques you use have to be tailored to meet the market dynamics that we experience that come and go on a regular basis. But yes, buy.
Now you're a big advocate of investing in real estate but not getting loans. And we all get loans. We all trot down to the bank and apply, and we just don't know any other way to do it.
Well, I think you have to say it backwards. You gave the statement that I would normally get, and that is you don't know any other way to do it, so therefore you trot down to the bank. So let's start at the beginning. Instead of what I have done, let's talk about what caused it and why I had to do it. At a very young age, and we'll call it 21 because that's what it was, I met my lovely girlfriend, who's now my bride and has been for 30 years, and business partner, when she was just turning 18. And she's an immigrant into this country from Central America, Costa Rica, and I was born in Northern California. So both of us come from a diverse background, and oil and water going together. So we bought our first house because she got a couple of credit cards in the mail from Wells Fargo, $1,500 total limit, $750 on each. Welcome to the world of debt. They say credit, but it's debt. I wanted to go out and buy a ring, prove we're an item, and she said, no, let's buy something that'll produce income. So we ended up finding a home. We went to the bank to get a loan, and the bank just completely, totally mistreated us. Now, I know you can ask anybody listening if they've ever been to the bank, have you ever been mistreated or treated with less than human dignity? Have you ever been told that you just don't qualify? Why are you wasting my time? And if you did, there's 1,001 things you must provide before they will let you even, fill out an application. I just went, this has got to be a better way. I mean, countries all over the world buy and sell houses. Why do we have to do it the way the banks are saying? Purely because of the money? I mean, people sell houses for a lot of different reasons, and it's rarely for the money. So we set out to find a way to buy houses where we didn't need the money because we didn't have it, We didn't need credit because we didn't have it. We didn't have a job, and the job we did have, which, Orgy had, that's my wife, was a commission-only job, so it didn't really pay anything. She's just getting started in the business world herself. At 18, she's a young girl, So here we are now I'm in my 50s. She's still, having her 9th anniversary coming up to it. And here we are. So we bought a lot of houses without ever going to the bank to borrow money and got a loan. Now, have I gone to the bank to borrow money? Oh, God, yes, many times. Have they ever loaned it to me? No. I'm just going to tell you. So flat out, there's got to be a better way, So since the very early 80s until now, we just said, the heck with the banks. They're not on our side. We're going to find another way to do it. And yes, we have acquired more than 3,300 properties. And when you come to my workshop, I'll show you a whole bunch of those properties, and I'll tell you the stories on them so you know how it was done. And you can do it too.
Very good. Now, you have the workshop. Are there additional ways that people can work with you or get to talk with you? Or how does all that work? What's it like to work with you?
Well, I think it would be a charming experience for anybody, but I'm biased. Reality is, over the years, I have bought a lot of property, and people would want to know how I've done it. Mm-hmm. And so they have hired me as a consultant to work with them, or even as a business relationship and associate of theirs to assist them. And these are serious people who want to invest in real estate, whether it be houses or apartment buildings or mobile home parks or any form or different kinds of aspect of real property. But what has happened is that I know how to buy a house. That's fantastic that I know how. I spend a lifetime learning how to do it right. But that doesn't help you. And in order to help you, we had to figure out how to get that information that I've always kept very close to my chest and wanted to share with nobody, because I don't want anybody taking what I know. Well, we've got past that because we've made a significant number of acquisitions, and we're in a position in our life that we want to share the information, publicly put it out there. And I got to tell you, I'm catching some flack. There's some people that don't want me to share this type of information. And right now is the best time in the world to buy property, and many people know it, but they still feel you have to run down to the bank to do it. But if you got an open mind, not empty, but an open mind, and you've got the awareness that maybe there's some things that you don't know, coming to my workshop is the first step. Because then I get to share with you some of the highlights of it and a little bit about my story on how they can do it and you can do it too. And that could probably lead you to the next step if you're interested in that, which is my 3-day seminar, where I get really in-depth and then really teaching you very, very specific things that you do to go out and acquire houses.
Very good.
Think about this a minute, doctor. What if I was able to show you how to buy a house that costs $400,000 and you could buy that house and pay no interest?
I'm in.
You see? I'm in. And that's
I'm
the only
in.
thing you should say. I've had people say, oh, that's just craziness. Really? Well, you can only say that because you haven't done it.
Exactly.
If you haven't done it, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the moon is crazy. We haven't done it. Right?
Exactly.
There's people who have, and it's been filmed, it's been documented, but there's different things that people haven't done that think it's crazy. I haven't skydived. I'm not going to do it either.
I have done that. I have done that.
Oh, right on. High-five that one.
Absolutely. It's all about having the knowledge, and also what I try to explain to people too is it's not just getting some knowledge, but getting knowledge from someone who's actually doing it now, not antiquated knowledge from before the recession or things that just there's some people out there teaching some things that are just old school and don't work right now. There are universal principles, but there are also old strategies that no longer work. And so it's really important that you really meet someone and have someone mentor you, take you through the process that actually is doing it today, which is what I like about what you're doing. And then later on, a couple of minutes, we'll share exactly where the workshops are, and they're coming up really quickly, and everybody, how they can register. They need to register. I love what you say about writing an offer, because that is the most nerve-wracking part of buying a house and buying a piece of property. My sister is a veteran. She just bought her first home, but writing those offers were super crazy, and she had a realtor helping her. So tell us about your opportunity, the way you look at writing offers.
Well, that is a good one, and I'm glad you brought that one up. That was a surprise question for me because I like to spend serious time on it. I don't think we'll be able to do that in this call.
Okay.
But I will tell you this. If you just talk to people, people tell you what their needs are. And then when you write stuff down, just write like you're talking to somebody. I will say that I have used a realtor a few times, not very many, in the course of my career. And the reason for it was there was properties that I wanted, and there were some good people bringing me some properties. But on the normal note, the majority of realtors, licensed professionals, they really are only interested in their commission. And I mean, that's how they get paid. Of course, that's how they make their car payment. But I've also found out that when the person's really interested in their car payment, they're not really interested in me and my deal and how it's going to benefit me or how it's going to benefit the guy on the other side that I'm dealing with. So I have learned a few things. And one is realtors bring me fantastic deals and they get paid fantastic commissions when they come to me. But I always do my own transaction. I always talk directly to the seller myself. And it's really quite simple. The seller, I'm not a realtor. I just want you to know that. I am not a realtor, never have been. I'm just a guy. I'm a guy, came from a poor community and a poor family, and I just said, I got to figure out how to make a living. I'm a high school dropout. Doesn't help. Now nowadays it's even worse. Back in the 70s being a dropout, it's a problem. It's like, got to figure this one out. Yeah. So here we are. So yeah, you got to write offers. And it's interesting because I had a little YouTube that I talked about writing offers. And to me, I wrote 100 offers. I mean, not 100 little 2-page and 3-page and 1-page offers that I would just type up and put my name on and say what I wanted to do and send them out to 100 different people who own properties that I was maybe interested in, with one goal: not to buy a single one of them.
Wow.
Not to buy a single one of them. I wanted those offers to tell me what it was that I needed to know in order to make it a successful offer. Now, fortunate for me, I got a lot of them that said, yeah, I'll take your deal. It just happened. And I'm like, oh, okay, now what? But the whole thing is that one of my mentors, rest his soul, who has died, he owned over 5,000 properties. This guy was a machine. He died in his late 80s, which was literally about not even 10 years ago, in the last 6 or 7 years. And this particular guy said, if you can't write 100 offers, just write them. It's no big deal. You write letters, you're playing on the internet all the time, you do all this stuff, and you'll just write an offer. And then literally mail it out or hand it out or put it in the mailbox or put it on the front door. And you don't have to talk to anybody, just so they know that there's somebody there interested in what they got.
Interesting.
And that's what I did. And that taught me so much. And remember, this is when I did this 25 years plus ago. This taught me so much on what it really was that I needed to do in order to buy those properties.
Absolutely. So it's not just the head knowledge, but people have to actually be willing to do what you teach them.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's like this. I want a car. So you got a brand new Corvette sitting in the driveway, but you don't have a license, you don't have a permit. Okay? So what good is it? Right? So the best way to do it is first you got to get some skills. Get some knowledge, and that's what I'm talking about. It's knowledge. If you don't know, you don't know. I mean, I got to tell you, I was in the bank, U.S. Bank in Newport Beach just a few days ago. I walked in there and said, how are you going? They go, oh, we want to give you a mortgage. And I said, really? What's your rates at now? Oh, we can get you 3.5%. I said, on a 30-year loan? They go, wow, that's fantastic. And it's funny, too, because I have money in different banks, including that one, and I get paid interest now because I know how the system works. But come on, if you got a checking account, you're not getting paid any interest.
Right.
Banks get 10 times that money. They get a loan to them that they turn around and loan out to you. So they talk about the ultimate leverage. So they make 30-40% on your money that they pay nothing to you on. Nothing. That's not a fair system, is it?
Not hardly, especially right now when people are struggling to come back. And because of the recession, almost no one has the same FICO score that they used to have 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't use FICO scores. I don't use credit. I use business credit, like people who know me, of course, But other than that, I don't use credit. You don't go and run my profile and get my social security number. I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that for anybody, and I haven't in years. And I have no intention of starting now. And it's really great because you kind of, fall off the radar when you do things like that. I don't get those offers for credit cards or anything because, I'm a nobody. I love it.
Now, I love this because this is my way of looking at things too. You say always act with a sense of urgency. No dragging your feet. Get it done and get it done quickly. And I always say that, I try to handle things very, very quickly. And people think it's just me. So I'm glad to have found, you and your wife that think the same way. Talk about that a little bit because I know they hear it from me. I want them to hear it from someone else.
Well, if a person's going to complain, then, get out of your chair. I have these euphemisms I say, and one of them is if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. Okay? And that means get up and go do something. I had a guy the other day tell me, he goes, I'm still trying to find a job. Now, this is a guy 25 years old. I'm trying to find a job. And I said, I understand completely. When do you get out of bed? He goes, about 11. What's your chances of finding a job if you can't get out of bed till 11? Not very good. Will you follow me?
Yes.
And that's what I mean. You got to get up and go do something. You got to stand up and say, I'm going to go out and buy a house. Be focused, have discipline, and have the desire to go and do it. And most folks just think it's going to come to them. It's like the cow walking out of the pasture and backing up into the barn to get milked. It ain't going to happen. You got to go get the cow and bring it to you, or take your bucket out to the cow. But the cow's not going to back up to your bucket and say, here, I'm ready to be milked. And that's what we're up against. Most people believe it should be handed to them. It's an entitlement. I go, it's not an entitlement, but you are entitled to it. You just go do it.
Exactly. Let's talk about where the seminar is and DonNay0rules.com, how they can register.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Doctor. DonNay Zero Rules, Z-E-R-O, Rules, R-U-L-E-S.com. That's one of my pages on the internet. You go on that, you can put in your name and your email, and you're in. You got it? You get an automatic confirmation for the date that you want to attend to the workshop. I only am having 3, and that's it. They're limited in number, so it's not open to the general public. You've got to register, and then you get a ticket sent to you, and then you show up. And at that 3-hour workshop, which is completely free, you know what? I don't have them sitting here, but I have 3 CDs. Audio CDs with very powerful techniques. Mm-hmm. I got a very nice workbook that we'll go through together, a workshop book that you get to keep, as well as my book. And it's an ebook and also an actual printed book. And the printed book I will have there at the event. And it's called For Real, putting the real back in real estate. And I got to tell you, if you don't think you can buy a house with no interest and no down payment, no money and no commissions and no job and no education, then you're right. You can't. But I can. And I'm still doing it. I still do it. When I buy houses, I don't tell people I bought a lot of houses. I just say I'm just a guy looking to buy a home. That's all I am. And that's who we are. Now, because I've done it a few thousand times, might mean I have a few more things going on. Oh, thank you. Here you go. Here's your 3 CDs.
Yay! Thank you.
Yeah. Support.
Support. Absolutely. We love our support team.
So I always look at it, look, if you don't think you can do it, you're right. If you believe it's possible because someone else did it and you should be able to do it too, then you're right. It's true. Because yes, I don't have anything wrong with the banks, but what I do for sure is I don't go to them and I don't borrow money because they win. They have the big buildings, the big tall buildings. Who paid for those? Somebody did. Right?
Absolutely.
Your money.
My money. Absolutely.
Your money paid for it.
So
how would you like to take one of those home with you?
Yes. Yeah, I would love to. So we're going to be starting September 10th in Costa Mesa. Tell us a little bit about the dates that are available.
Okay. I will. September the 10th at noontime to 3 o'clock in Costa Mesa at the Orange County Hilton Hotel on Bristol Street is a free workshop. On September the 12th, that's only 2 days later, from 6 to 9 p.m. in the evening, so those that are working during the day would also like to come, then that's also the same location, free, and then the following Tuesday from 12 to 3. And at those 3 hours, you can come to any one of them, is that I will give you very detailed information. First of all, you're going to get about $400+ worth of value you're going to get just for showing up.
Right.
And materials.
Right.
So that's powerful. And then you're going to get additional education from me while there. And at the end of that, I'm going to let you know I got a seminar coming. And the seminar costs money. It's not free. I can't give you something of such life-changing value for nothing. I can absolutely show you the highlights of it so you can be very excited that this is for you. But before you make a commitment for the seminar, I'd want you to know, you can see the possibilities of you buying a house without going to the bank, without using your credit, with little to very little money down at all to buy these properties. I know because I'm doing it in California.
In California. That's so important because some of these people used to teach stuff that would work in Arkansas. California is a very sophisticated market, and I love that you're right here in California, one of the toughest states in all of our states, and you're doing it. That's awesome.
One of the people that I work with and have trained over the years, who's a personal friend, went to Mississippi, went to a little town in Natchez, Mississippi on the river, and he walked out of there with 300 houses in 2 years. Yeah. And that's a whole different story, but I'm just letting you know. It's not difficult when you know how to do it. When you have the knowledge that you go, hey, wait, this is powerful. That's how you change your life. How many people own one home, let alone 10, 20, or 50 homes?
Yes.
And this process is something that once you know it, you know it. No one can take it from you. It's yours.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us and encouraging. Listen, you guys, get to the seminars. Start September 10th. He has noontime seminars and also seminars for 6 to 9 after work. Go to DonNay0rules.com. That means there are no rules. He's going to show you how to invest in real estate in today's market. He's doing it today. This is not this antiquated crap from 75. And he's doing it today. He's making it happen today. So if you have that dream of having a house, if you've lost your home and you want to have another home, and you have that dream of becoming a real estate investor, learn from the best. Thank you so much, Don.
Well, thank you. And I have to tell you, get registered. That's number one. Because number two, if you don't believe it, make me prove it. Make me prove it. I can handle it. Don't you worry. Bring your toughest questions.
Okay.
That's what I like. Right, thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Thank you guys for watching. Remember what I say, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. And I'll see you guys next time.